Walking around with a full ski mask on, driving in a car, riding a bike, that should give the police a legal right to stop and frisk your ass. And I don't care how y'all feel about it. If you've never been robbed by somebody with a ski mask and a gun pointed at you, I don't want to hear it. There should be no reason why I'm pumping my gas at a gas station that's fairly empty. Okay, pretty much empty. It was only me and another guy. He was at a far pump and he hadn't got in his car on his way to pull out when two dudes pulled up on the opposite side of my pump with ski mask on, both of them. So I instantly go get in my car and put my hand in my purse. Because what the fuck y'all think y'all about to do? Yeah, it ain't it. Stop and frisk their ass. I don't care how y'all feel about it, and stop letting your kids leave the house with a full ski mask on, because what they need it for in the spring. They ain't skiing. It ain't cold outside. They in a car. So yeah, I'm clutching and I'm on a ready. You gonna have to put in some work today, buddy.
Yeah, and I agree with her 100%. And I'm glad that it's now starting to be concerned citizens that are black. Even though black is a construct, we're going to use it for the sake of the conversation, that are black that are now willing to speak up and say, you know what? Nah, this ain't right. Nope, we're not going for it. Forget what Black Lives Matters is talking about. There's no reason for me to sit here and listen to you tell me not to stereotype or not to profile when I see guys riding in the car with a ski mask on. That used to be looked at as, oh man, they about to do something that they're not supposed to do. Now we become so woke that people are sitting there having a conversation about if you need to profile or if somebody is being profiled or the police officers, because we've already been conditioned to hate police officers so bad, right? And because we've been conditioned to hate police officers, people automatically assume that police officers are in the wrong if they go and they check somebody or they see somebody in the car or walking down the streets or they pull you over and they find out what the hell is going on, because this is not normal in society. It's not supposed to be normalized for you to be walking around with a ski mask on. And I'll keep it even more a bean with you. When the pandemic hit and they were saying, yep, keep your face covered or you can still walk around with a mask, and people were walking around with ski masks on, and it was just cool to be indoors no matter what. You got a whole face covering and all I can see is your eyes, like you Muslim or like you a Muslim woman. I said, nah, this is out of control. We got to stop this. And everybody was acting like it's cool and everybody was acting like it's normalized, and I can't see you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you up to. I don't feel safe around you. So now the person that is villainized is the person that is walking around normal, being a regular citizen, right? They're normal. But the person that's now the victim by default, because of all of this wokeness and diversity, equity, and inclusion and Black Lives Matters. And let's talk about another thing really quickly before we go into the rest of this video. Let's talk about how they literally went through the defund the police era. They literally, even worse than the late 80s when they were coming out with songs called F the Police, they literally villainized police officers regardless if they were white, black, lived in the neighborhood, didn't live in the neighborhood. No matter what happened, they automatically made police officers evil in the eyes of people going into 2026, 2027. And so all across America, we see defunding the police. All of this is the residual effect of what we've seen being protested. And so now you see homelessness rampant over in certain cities. They don't have the staffing and the levels necessary in order to be able to combat some of the crimes that's happening. That's why you have so many takeovers. That's why you have so many burnouts. That's why you have teen takeovers. That's why you have smash and grabs, robberies, all of these things that are horrible for our society and horrible for our culture because you joined in the fight. So now the very thing that you hated, robberies, crime, you trying to figure out how do we stop this? How do we be proactive? You voted the people in office that are basically defunding the police, that villainize police officers. When I look at the Mamdanis and the chick that's over in Seattle, the mayor over in Seattle, when I look at Brandon Johnson, when I look at all of these, DC is beautiful. The fountains is being repaired, right? National monuments being repaired, the water being turned back on, the National Guard that made everything safe again. And so now the new culture over in DC that's normalized is we don't do crime, we don't do any of that type of stuff no more, because you know that there's going to be consequences that come along with it. These judges, these soft judges, these liberal judges letting people out, the Safety Act over in Chicago, no bail system over in New York, all of these different things that people were advocating for, protesting against, and getting woke for are the same things that put you in danger and then make you a victim. Don't stereotype, don't profile, don't do none of this. What do you mean? How do you think that they catch serial killers? They've developed a profiling techniques from the FBI that's able to identify certain things that people do that then lead them to do some of the crimes that are the worst for humanity. That's how you catch killers. That's how you catch robbers. So if y'all complaining about what's going on in your neighborhood, it's because you advocated for this nonsense. You advocated for less safety. You advocated for they call it a poo shiesty, man. It ain't even a ski mask no more. It used to be ski masks in order to do robberies. Before that, it was ski masks to go skiing to protect you against the cold and to protect your face. Now they're called poo shiesty masks. Poo shiesty recently got arrested for robbing another rapper, and people were defending him. And so that's how you know that society is just is cooked. We cooked. So now you have to get regular, normal, concerned citizens, because if a white person comes out, a white woman, white man even worse, you know, white men is public enemy number one in the eyes of everybody right now. If a white person comes out and says, hey, we need to profile people, and anybody with a mask on, we need to stop them and frisk them, everybody gonna be up in arms and they're gonna be doing a reaction video saying, oh, no. But it's now gonna take people that are of the culture, that look like you, that look like me, to say, hey, listen, this is not cool, and this is why we gotta be clutching. It's gonna take people that look like me and her to have these conversations to know why it's important for us to be able to carry and to focus on our Second Amendment rights. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
You're not about to carjack me, rob me, or none of that. It's me or you out here. And these businesses need people to come into their establishments with full ski mask on. Nobody wants to deal with that. We don't know who's good, who's bad. You don't need a full ski mask. And I'm not talking about force them to make sure they show their whole face. No, pull it off of your head and put it in your pocket. If
you shouldn't even be able to go into certain establishments unless you show your face. We need to see your face, big dog.
Want to come in here, I want to see your hair. I want to see your ears. I want to see if you got a neck tattoo. I want to be able to identify you. You don't need no full ski mask. The police should stop and frisk every last one of them.
Thanks.
Every time they see them. If they're in a car, pull them over and pull them out the car and stretch them.
Yep.
We tired of all this stupid bullshit that's going on. Half of these teen takeovers, when you look at the videos, half of them down there with backpacks and ski masks on.
And when they actually do all of these, like when they check them and they try to figure out what's going on, they arresting a lot of people with pistols on. High schoolers that's walking around with pistols on them.
For what? All of them should be stopped and frisked, and I don't care how you feel.
I remember before the pandemic, when you would go into downtown Detroit in the Greektown, they now redoing Greektown. When you go in, when you went past certain places, and even during the NFL draft that was here in Detroit, they had drones. You couldn't get past a certain part unless you walked past, certain things that scan it automatically, and they was just on it. They were on it 100% of the time. You know why? Because they didn't want nothing popping off at this big time event that brought so much visibility into the city. We don't even require that in our own lifestyles, in our own neighborhoods, in our own cities. We pay all of these taxes, but then we got to play extra woke around people that's looking to do you harm. I can't imagine anybody that is wearing a ski mask unless you're a celebrity and you try not to get identified inside of the airport or you're skiing. I can't imagine anybody that is wearing a ski mask that I just gonna feel inherently safe around. I'm sorry. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure